Hi everyone, my name is Monique.
And I'm Naveen from Before You Play.
And today, we're going to be doing a playthrough of a game that is currently on Gamefound called Cyberpunk 2077, the board game.
Yes, this game is designed by Łukasz Woźniak and published by Go On Board, who are helping sponsor this playthrough. And in this game, we are in the Cyberpunk 2077 universe, where we're going to be playing through an alternate storyline.
Yes, this is a fully cooperative, narrative-driven, tactical action board game for 1 to 4 players. And so today, we're going to be playing through one of the 3 tutorial prologue scenarios that came with our demo copy, and hopefully demonstrate some of the main mechanics of the game, while also showing how the real-time component is implemented.
Now, of course, this is a demo copy, like Monique stated, so things are subject to change in the future. If you are interested in the campaign, there's a link in the description, which you can check out. And lastly, if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more in the future, please consider subscribing.
And with that, we are ready to begin. So if you please direct your attention to the center of the table, we're all set up here for a 2-player game of Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes.
Welcome to Night City. Now, if you're not familiar with Cyberpunk 2077, this board game is actually based off of a very popular video game by CD Projekt Red.
Yes, but the story and all the elements of this are from an alternate storyline.
Right. And so this is a narrative mission-based game in which each player plays as a different character from the video game who must work together in order to complete various missions through a series of fights. Now, it's important to keep in mind that this is a demo copy of the game, and so we were only given 3 tutorial prologue scenarios that sort of incrementally teach the rules over the course of the 3 scenarios. The final full version of the game will come complete with many different missions, including a map book that you can explore various locations from, as well as the option to complete standalone jobs in the afterlife, and the campaign itself is also replayable. And so today, we're going to be teaching and playing through prologue number 2, which is the middle scenario that does not include every single rule in the game, but it goes through enough to have a good idea as to what the gameplay is going to look like. And so like I was mentioning, the game is played over the course of several missions, and each mission has a main objective, as well as possibly a few side objectives. And so in order to win, you'll need to cooperatively complete the main objective within the allowable amount of time, which is a certain number of maximum fights, aka rounds. And we'll discuss our specific objectives right before we start the playthrough. So then, each player has their own character, a deck of cards, as well as what is known as a quick hack that are all specific to the character that they're playing as. Now in this game, a round is called a fight, and over the course of the fight, players are going to be taking turns playing a card from their hand in order to move around the board, defeat enemies, as well as complete mission objectives. Now before each fight starts, players will draw 4 cards from their deck into their hands, but you cannot look at it until the fight actually starts. Then once all players are ready, we hit start on the app and it counts down, and as soon as it's done counting down, then you get to look at your hands, and the first player will start taking their turn. Now on your turn, you'll only be playing 1 card from your hand and resolving it. In addition, you can also play as many free actions, also known as instant actions, during your turn, but you'll only ever be playing 1. And then you'll always end your turn by drawing back up to a hand of 4 cards. And once you're done, then the next player can go. But it's important to keep in mind that the next player cannot start their turn until you've drawn your card to end yours. Now in this game, there are 4 main types of cards. They are color-coded, and they each sort of pertain to the 4 different skills that we have on our player boards. Each skill or color also correlates to a specific type of action, and so red relates to the cool skill, and these are skills that typically deal damage. Blue stands for body, and these are more healing and movement. Green is intelligence, and that helps you gain RAM, which is one of the resources in the game. And yellow is a technical skill that has to do with crafting, as well as interacting with the environment, and in our prologue specifically, we are going to be using it to open doors. Now, our skill chart here is very important because this will determine the strength of our actions when playing a card from our hands. And so let's just start with movement and combat. Now, on your turn, when you play a card, you're going to play it into your discard pile. And that's important because when you play the card, it actually aligns with your skill chart here. And depending on where your marker is for that corresponding skill, you can resolve any number of the symbols on the card in any order. And so at the start of the game, our skills are going to be at the very lowest threshold here, which means, as an example, if I were to play this card, I can only resolve the symbols at the very top here. But as soon as I'm able to gain an additional skill shard, because that's what it's called, in the red column, I'll now be able to resolve all the symbols in the first 2 rows, and again, in any order of my choosing.
So in this case, Monique could move twice and deal damage once.
Yes, because feet represent movement. Now, in this game, Movement is just to an adjacent orthogonal space, so you cannot move diagonally, but the space that you're moving to has to be through an open door or a broken wall. Now, both of our characters are starting on the starting space here, which has no closed doors, which means if I were to play a movement effect, then I can just move into any adjacent space like that. In addition, red cards that show this target symbol allow you to deal an enemy damage. And so combat is going to play a large role in this game. Each enemy in the game will have a health tracker of sorts. Our demo came with these standees that show a health marker that you can sort of rotate like this, but the final version of the game may look a little bit different. And in order to deal damage to an enemy, they have to be within range. Now, range in this game is very straightforward. An enemy, or you, are basically in range within an enemy if you are either in the same room. So if it were like this, then we would be within range of each other.
Yeah, because you guys are both in the same corridor here.
Or if we are within the same column or row and there is no obstruction in between us.
Yeah, so a good example would be if this enemy was here, I would be in this particular room, but there's an open door here so they can see me, so we are both within range of each other.
Right.
Now, if in this example, this character or enemy was here, now they would not be in range because they are not within eyesight of my character.
Right, they're not within the same column or row. They are in a different room. And so when dealing damage via a symbol like this, you would basically just deal 1 point of damage to an enemy within range. Now, one thing that is very important to keep in mind is if you ever start your turn within range of an enemy, you always start by rolling your dice. So each player has 2 different dice. One is technically a weapon, and in this game, weapons will be able to be upgraded to stronger or more variable weapon types.
Sure.
And each player will also have an enemy die. And so whenever you roll these, you're going to roll them at the same time. And you will potentially deal damage to the enemy, and the enemy will also potentially deal damage to you.
Sure.
And so in this example, if Naveen actually were to roll this against that enemy over there, they would take 1 point of damage, and Naveen would lose 2 health.
2 health.
And so our health tracker is on the left-hand side here. If you are ever at 0, when you need to lose additional health, then you take a wound. These wound cards go to the top of your discard pile, and they don't do anything for you. These are going to clog up your hand.
Yep.
And if ever, in our specific prologue scenario, if ever you run out of wound cards, because we each can only take 3, when you have to gain another one, then we will lose the mission.
Right. Now, the wound card all have different art on them, but they all essentially do the same thing.
Right. And on your turn, if you ever have these in your hand, you can't discard them. But if you have a lot of wound cards in your hand and they're just really clogging up your hand, you can, instead of playing a card on your turn, discard your entire hand. You can still perform instant actions in a turn like that, but at the end of your turn, you would just draw back up to 4. And that is essentially how combat works. It is fairly straightforward, but you do have to keep in mind that you must roll these dice at the start of your turn if you are within range of an enemy. Next, we have these interaction symbols that are found on the yellow cards typically. And so for each of these hand symbols, you're allowed to open or close a door that is within range. And doors are these yellow chits here. And so as an example, if I were to play this card, I could open both of these doors if I wanted to, because they are both within the same room as my character. And obviously you have to open a door before you can go through the passageway into that room. Alternatively, you can use each of these hand symbols to craft. And so at the start of each of our fights, we are going to draft these crafting cards. And each card will show a certain number of these cubes on them. For each symbol, I can remove a cube from a crafting card. And as soon as a card has no more of these cubes, on my turn, as an instant action, I can discard the fully crafted card in order to use its ability. So in this example, I would be able to discard this to move twice. And there's a wide variety of crafting cards in the game, so we'll be discussing these as we play the playthrough. Next, we have abilities that allow you to heal. And so these blue heart symbols just allow you to gain an amount of health equal to the number of symbols. If ever you are fully maxed out at 4 and you gain additional health, then you can refresh one of your boosts. And so at the start of the game, each player will have 1 boost that's installed, and it is on its active side. And basically on your turn, as an instant action, you can inactivate your boost in order to do one of the 4 symbols that are on it. And so again, gaining health when you're already at your maximum is one of the ways in which you can reactivate a boost. Now over the course of the game, you'll have the opportunity to acquire more boosts, but you can only have up to a maximum of 3. And the main way in which we'll be doing that in our specific mission is by picking up these loot tokens. And so one thing that I didn't mention is when moving, if you ever move into a space that contains a loot token, you're just going to pick it up and place it onto your player board. Any loot tokens that you pick up won't actually get resolved until the fight is over, which is at the end of the timer. And when moving, you are also allowed to enter and pass through spaces that contain other characters as well as enemies. But if you ever enter a space that contains an enemy, then you lose 1 health. Now, the last type of card that you'll see us play are these green intelligence cards. And anytime you see that symbol there, that pertains to gaining RAM. And so RAM is one of the main resources in the game. We're going to be able to use RAM in order to take actions that are listed on our quick hack cards, which again are specific to our characters. And so as an example, as Judy Alvarez, my starting quick hack here is Breach Protocol. For 1 RAM, I can open a door that is anywhere on the board. So that symbol means anywhere on the board. Or for 3 RAM, I can open a door anywhere and I can gain us time by hitting a button on the app that'll allow us to do so. Some quick hacks, such as the one that Naveen's character has over here, allows you to perform the effect on yourself or on another player. And so that is what those symbols here represent.
Anytime you see a white filled in character, that's for yourself. Anytime you see a black filled in character, that's for any other teammate.
And quick hacks can be used on other players' turns. So this is the only action that you can take when it's not your turn. And that is essentially it. Those are the main types of actions that you're going to see us do over the course of these fights. And by the way, whenever you draw the last card in your draw deck, then you simply reshuffle your discard pile back into your regular deck and continue playing. Now, as soon as the app timer runs out, whoever's turn it is can finish their turn. So you don't have to stop immediately as soon as that ends. Then we'll go into a cooldown phase. And at that point, each player will discard the rest of the cards in their hand so that you can't plan anything for the next fight. And we'll go through a series of steps that includes gaining more crafting cards, as well as moving enemies and spawning additional ones. At this point, we'll also resolve any loot tokens that we've picked up, including installing any boosts or skill shards. And if ever you gain enough skill shards to fill in the bottom row here, that symbol means you get to take a Legends card. And these are asymmetric, very powerful cards that actually go to the top of your deck when you gain them, and we'll discuss them as we play the game. But that's essentially it. At that point, as soon as everyone's ready, we draw a new hand of 4 cards and we start the next fight. And again, as soon as we are able to complete the main mission objective, then our characters need to get back to the start space, and on your turn, you can take an instant action to advance, and you would remove your miniature from the board, and as soon as everyone's able to do that, then we win the mission. But that's essentially it. Are you ready to start Prologue 2?
Let's do it.
All right, so key things to keep in mind are because it is technically a real-time fight, we're not going to be able to fully explain our actions. We're going to do our best when we play our cards. And typically you're supposed to play your cards to your discard pile, but I think we are both going to play our cards to the middle here. And any loot tokens that we pick up, we're going to place to our right. But just know that in the real game, it's the inverse.
You're supposed to place out here, and then everything else would go there.
In addition, we've already done some pre-setup. So these crafting cards you're supposed to lay out, and each player will get to draft them back and forth. And so these are the 3 that we each have chosen. And before we discuss our mission, if you did not join us for the teach, today I'm going to be playing as Judy Alvarez. And I have Breach Protocol as my quick hack, which means for 1 or 3 RAM, I basically get to open a door and maybe save us some time. In addition, I have a card in my hand that has a unique symbol here, which lets me distract an enemy by moving any enemy on the board into an adjacent room. And I would basically place them on the opposite side of the door, removing a door there if there is one.
And today I'm going to be playing as Pan Am Palmer, and I have Ice Pick as my quick hack, which helps me and you also move. And my unique card is this one. This symbol right here is unique to me because it allows me to deal 1 damage to any enemy on the board. So as you can see, there's a sniper rifle here, and I'm kind of creeping up on this one. That's really nice. That's going to be me.
So you probably want to try to upgrade your yellow skill so that you can really get the best bang for your buck there.
Yeah, that's true.
Now today, our mission is Prologue 2.0, No More Mr. Nice Guy. Naveen, would you care to read our mission objectives?
Sure. So our main mission here is kill guards to get to decks. Okay, so that's our ultimate mission. So we need to kill at least 6 guards, hence why we have 6 of these images here. in order to complete this mission. And we also have to, of course, get into the center spot and then advance.
The elevator.
Right.
Now, in addition to the main objective, we also have 4 side objectives. And so we are not required to complete the side objectives. But if we do, we gain the benefit that's on the right here, which is going to be upgrading our weapon to a better weapon,
Sure.
a more interesting one,
Yep.
as well as gaining a skill shard, depending on which of the objectives we were able to meet.
And in order to do this, they're all basically the same. They just have to do with the different points that you see on the board. So as an example, the side mission A is open the weapons cabinet. So these are all a bunch of weapons cabinets to get to these better dice. And what you want to do is another player spends 1 RAM while you are on the specific section. So if I was here
Yes, on A.
on A, and then Monique had RAM as one of her anytime actions, she can spend 1 RAM
Yes.
in order for me to get the red shard to make this better. And I would now upgrade my weapon and I would have a new weapon.
Yes.
And when you have multiple weapons, you choose which one you want to use whenever you're going into combat.
That's right. And that is essentially how all of these side missions works. They just require you to be standing on a different letter on the board.
Yeah, again, these do not technically need to be completed, but they can help us complete our main mission, of course, which is to destroy or kill 6 enemies.
Yes.
You want good weapons to do that.
And we are going to have more enemies joining us at the end of each fight. And so at the top here, it tells you how many enemies will be coming onto the board during the cooldown phase. And the top right also tells you the maximum amount of fights you are allowed before you lose the game. And so our mission card has a typo. It's actually supposed to be 7 fights. All right, so we are now ready to begin. We're going to shuffle our decks and draw our hand of 4. But again, do not look at
We're
it.
not allowed to look yet.
What is our plan?
Well, I think since we have to kill 6 of them,
Yes.
right? And we know the red shard will allow us to do more attack.
Yeah.
I think one of us should definitely be gunning for A.
Okay, can I go that way?
Yeah, sure. You can go that
Okay,
way.
so this is me. This one's
Yeah.
Naveen.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm going to go that way.
I'll probably end up going for B, just so I could be kind of efficient.
All right. Who wants to go first? Do you? What do you think?
Maybe you.
Me?
Yeah, why not?
All right, and we can redecide that
Yeah.
when the timer starts. But again, do not look at your hand.
We have 4, so
So
let's
we got to
activate.
start the app.
Let's do it.
Now, again, you don't have to play with the app, but we are going to. And so in the final version of the game, there will be a video tutorial. The app also drives some of the narrative. So there's going to be some story-based aspect. And we basically just hit continue until we get to our mission. Whenever we're ready, we hit start.
So the app is ready to go. We just have to hit that button to start mission. We have our 4 cards that we have not looked at yet.
Right.
Are you ready? So you're going to go to A. I think I'm
am.
probably just going to move out towards this B. All
Okay.
right. Start
Good luck.
mission. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so I'm going first, right?
Yes, you're going to go
All right.
first.
2, 1.
Go.
Look.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna play this.
Okay.
And I'm going to craft. I'm just gonna craft this now.
Good.
Right. This is a red shard.
I like it.
So I'm gonna do it now, and I'm
Okay.
gonna install it.
Perfect.
So now I have 2.
Draw a
okay.
card. Okay,
Back
I'm
to
going
you.
to heal and move. So I'm going to heal and just move 1 over. Back to you.
All right. I'm going to play this. So it's the top row. I'm moving for 1.
Okay.
And I'm gonna open this door because
Nice.
it's within range.
Okay.
And now it is back to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna play this one. This one allows me to hit any enemy on the board. I'm gonna hit the one that you're going towards, and then I'm gonna craft this. I'm gonna get this off. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna play this. So just the top. It's gonna be moving and healing for 1.
Okay.
And I draw a card. Back to
Okay,
you.
so I'm gonna open a door and move. So I'm gonna move and open this door. Now it's back to you. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna play this, which is also moving and healing. So I pick
Okay.
up the loot, which will resolve later. I heal for 1.
Okay.
Now it's back to you.
Let me set up the RAM real quick. So okay, I'm gonna get myself some RAM. All right,
Okay.
and then back to you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to play. I'm gonna play this.
Okay.
So 2
Double.
RAM.
Okay.
1, 2. Back
All
to
right,
you.
so now I'm gonna go
Alright,
into
shuffle
the room
this.
here. So we're going into the room. We're moving. We're gonna hit him for 1, and then on the next one we're gonna. Oh, and then I'm gonna spend this right here as an anytime, and then hit him for 2 more.
Nice.
1, 2. Okay, so I'm gonna hold these dice because I'm at the combat afterwards. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I have to shuffle. Go ahead.
Did you draw?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm playing that. So I'm moving for 1, opening this door.
Okay. I
And-
have the RAM if you want to step on A.
It's back to you though. I
Okay,
can't.
perfect.
I
Okay,
don't
no
have
problem.
enough.
So we have to roll for the combat. Okay, I go down 1, and then he gets 1 hit, which is great because then I'm going to play this one, and I'm going to move and then get this and hit him for his last one. So he's dead. He's out. He's out.
All right, draw a
Perfect.
card.
Okay, good.
So it goes back to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this. And I can do all 3 at the top
Nice.
symbols. So I'm moving in for 1, hitting them for 1.
Okay.
And at the start of my
I'm
next
gonna
turn,
spend my RAM. So then now you have the die.
Nice. Can I have those,
There
please?
you go. And now you have a 3rd shard
I have
there.
a 3rd shard, which I'm going to
Okay.
install now.
Good, good, good. Are you done with your
And-
hand?
Huh?
I'd like to take your turn if you
Okay,
can. Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna heal and just move real quick. 1. Okay, go ahead.
Back to me?
Yeah.
So I get to roll. I have to roll. So I'm
Okay,
going to roll
roll.
these 2. And
Ooh.
I can
nice.
still go.
Okay, you keep going.
So
you-
I take
okay.
1 damage.
So this is probably a good time now that the timer has stopped to
Yeah.
talk about this particular die. So
Yes.
you've taken 1 damage here.
And by the way, we're talking because once the timer ends, the active player can still finish their turn. So now I don't have to sweat there. The pressure's off. So this die will basically allow me to keep on re-rolling it until I
you roll
get
blank.
a blank.
Yeah.
So that's 1.
And then let's talk about your hurting yourself die here.
Yes.
So right now you see 2 symbols here.
Yeah.
Monique is going to take 1 damage for that, which
did.
I think you did.
Yeah.
If there was a second enemy within range, Monique would be basically fighting both of them, and
Yeah.
she would take a second hit.
Right.
And so that's not the case in this particular instance.
Yes, and I would keep on re-rolling the my weapon. I
Yeah.
don't have to roll that
Keep shooting
anymore.
them.
So that was 1. I
2.
shoot them again
Okay.
for 2.
3.
3.
Can you get the last one?
Can I get the last
Oh,
one?
there you go.
4.
Perfect.
So
Nice.
they are now out.
Awesome.
And I'm no longer in combat with them. It is still my turn. And also, I know this happened really quickly, but because I was on A, Naveen spent a ram, which allowed us to complete
This A objective.
the side objective here.
Yeah.
And so it gave me that weapon that we just demonstrated, as well
continue
as
to, yeah.
the red shard that I had installed.
Very good.
And so I'm going to play this card. It allows me to craft. I'm going to craft this.
Okay.
And now I have 3 movements if I want to spend this now.
Right.
We're going to get new craftable items in the cooldown, so I might as well use
Yeah,
it.
use it. Yeah.
And I'm going to move a total of
Towards
3
this one?
times.
Yeah.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I'm going to pick up that loot. And now I draw a card because I have to discard my hand. So
Technically,
now the fight is over.
That's it. Yeah. The
We
round,
are-
aka the fight.
Yes, we are in the cooldown phase. So first we are going to breathe out. So discard your hand.
Yep.
Because that's
That's
it.
how that works. Yep.
And then I'm going to put this in its true
Yeah,
discard spot,
same.
which is
Okay.
over here. Now we check our loot.
What do you got?
So this is
You
the
have
happy
2 of them.
part.
Let's see
Yeah, I
what
have
you got.
2. So I have a
Okay.
red shard.
Oh, nice.
And a legendary card.
Yep.
This is great because I'm going to install
gonna
the
double dip.
shard now, and that gains me a red legendary. So I get 2 of them, and
2 of
they're
them.
they're going to go at the top of my my draw deck. So I
1,
will take
2.
these going into
Let's talk
the
about these cards.
next fight.
Might as well. Yeah.
Yes. So a lot of these symbols you already are aware of. For this one, if you are able to reach the very bottom, which of course you have to have in order to get a legend card.
You did. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not technically true because if you get one of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I am there, which means I get to do 4 damage.
A lot of damage. That's
This is a big, powerful
Yeah.
card. This one has 2 new symbols. We have this symbol here that allows me to destroy a wall within range. So you're basically blowing up a wall, and you'll place one of these tokens on it to show that the wall has been destroyed. And this symbol here allows me to roll my weapon die specifically, not my enemy die.
that could be great.
So that is
Yeah.
great. And these 2 are going to go on top of my draw pile. So
Right.
I'm just going to go like that. That'll be in my hand.
That's
All right.
pretty good.
So that's it for
this
my
one,
loot
too.
tokens. Do you have one as
I
well?
have a blue one. Let's see what I got. So I got so I'm gonna get a blue
Okay.
shard, please.
So your blue.
So now
Skills are
I've
powerful.
basically unlocked the second, which is the healing. So then maybe I could be using a lot of these boosts to heal a lot.
All right, and that is it for our loot tokens. Next, we are going to gain new crafting cards.
Yep.
So we're going to draft these. We did not showcase the drafting at the start of the game, but during each cooldown,
Sure.
you will do it again. So, Naveen, do you care to draft first? What do you think?
Let's see. You're pretty red specialized, right?
I am red
So
specialized.
Maybe I should be pretty green/blue specialized. I'll take this green one right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just stuff that over there.
You have good healing abilities. Should I take this?
I think you should, yeah, because
right.
you're finding yourself in a lot of fights.
Oh, I also have this, but
And then let me
guess
just
it
put.
doesn't
Can I have
matter
one of
too
those
much.
cubes to indicate it?
sure. And you can replace any items that you have up here.
Yeah.
Even if it's already fully crafted, you can still replace it if you'd like to. We don't have to draft all of these though.
Since I have this one, which is kind of a universal wild, I think
Yeah.
I'll just kind of hold at this because this is literally the same card.
Okay. This allows you to install a boost, another one of these. That's very tempting, but maybe I'll just go for this.
Yep.
So I can have a blue shard.
Sure.
Do I need all of these? Health?
Well, if you do, because remember every time you go here and,
Yeah.
you go beyond, you
can
can reactivate that.
So maybe I should take this instead. You know what I
okay.
mean?
Oh, to have another one.
Yeah, instead of one of these.
Okay.
All right. That is my final
I
answer.
see. Okay.
Do you like your lineup?
I'm okay with it. This one right here, this will be nice. If I can get it going, then I could unlock this, and then we could be moving faster. So
Okay.
That'd be nice because right now I'm like kind of away from everything.
All right. Then these are done.
We also killed 2 enemies, so I'm just gonna go ahead and place 2 cubes on here just so we can keep track, so we
Nice.
don't make a mistake.
So we have 4 more to go.
4 to go.
And speaking of enemies, Now the enemies will move. So we have 3 left on, or no, 2 left on the board. So first things first, if there are any enemies who are currently engaged in combat, then they would not move.
Sure.
And so that is not the case for either of these 2. Then any enemies that are in rooms that are adjacent to this starting tile would just move to the space closest to the starting tile. So that is also not true. Because they are at least 1 room further away. And so in the case of our enemies over here, they would just move to the next room that goes closer to the starting tile. So the enemies are always moving towards the start space.
Yeah, because that's where we're going to be trying to get out of anyway. So it's going to create kind of like a backlog or a bottleneck there.
Yes. So you actually go in order, A, B, C, D. So we don't have any enemies on A or B, but we do have one in C. So I think this one would go here, right?
Yep.
And it would open this door in the process. And then this enemy, same thing. They're just going to move into the adjacent room, closer to the entrance, open the door.
Okay.
Or maybe opening it kindly, who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Next, we are going to deploy reinforcements. So in our specific mission, we only deploy 1 during each cooldown.
Right.
And you deploy them in order of the side mission sequence, but you skip over any of them that have already been completed. So because I completed A, then we are not going to get an enemy here, which means we're getting one in B, and it looks like you're standing on the spot.
He just showed up.
Yeah.
Dang.
And if ever you are in the same space, then you lose a health.
I lost the health.
You will lose a health. Now, again, if you did not join us for the teach, these are prototype miniatures that are included in our demo. So the final versions are going to look a little bit differently. They're going to fit better in the health bases.
Yep. I'm just going to move them so that they're facing me and so that I can also be quicker with
the health tracker.
Their health tracker, so I'm not going in like, awkward angle.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, that is it for cooldown. So now we're just going to draw a hand of 4 cards and we're going to start the next fight. So this will be fight number 2 out of a possible 7. Hopefully we can defeat 6. We only need 4 more.
4 more, yeah.
Right, we
and
have
I'm
3 of them
pretty
on the
much going
board.
to focus on this one. You are way stronger than me, though, so...
So then, Naveen, whenever you're ready, you can stand on B because I do have 2 RAM.
That'll probably be one of the first things I'm going to do.
Just let me know. My plan going into this next fight is to go this way because there is a door here. So I can go through this way to try to get to this enemy and collect some loot along the way. What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you want to go first or second?
Let me go first.
First?
Yeah.
All right. Let's draw our hand.
1, 2, 3. Oh,
I
good.
have 4.
I'm in a good
Okay.
spot, so I get to reload now.
I also drew my 4th, which means I will reload as well. And again, for this next fight, we're going to be doing the same thing, playing our discard here and putting our loot tokens here.
Right.
Or if you kind of get lost in it, then you can decide where
Yeah,
to
you
put
can do
your loot
whatever,
in the moment.
I know. So there we go. So now I have my 4th. I have not looked at it, so I have my 4 cards.
All right.
All right, so I'm going first.
You are going
I'm going to
first.
hold these because I am in the middle of a combat then right now, so I know for a fact.
Nice. Good point.
Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
All right, continue mission. 1, 2, 3, go.
Here we go.
2,
Countdown.
1,
1.
go.
Go.
Okay, no matter what. Okay.
You lose a health.
I got hit. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to play this one. I'm going to go heal twice.
Okay.
1, 2, and then I'm going to move. Now I'm onto that thing right there. So whenever you're ready to help me out, help me out.
Okay. Are you done?
Yes.
I'm playing this, but now I am fully skilled. So I can destroy a wall first. I'm going to destroy this wall here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move. So that's 1 movement.
Okay.
And then I have 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I can deal. I am within range
Yes.
now. So I'm going to deal down to
2.
2. So I
Okay.
did 1, 2, 3. I can roll my combat die.
Keep going.
So I'm going to do that. Oh,
Nothing.
blank.
That's okay.
Okay, I do have 1 more movement though. So
yeah.
I'm going to move down this way.
Now you're in
Take that-
range, so you're going to be in a combat to
This
start
way.
your turn.
I
okay?
will. Thank
Don't
you.
forget to help me out
Oh,
with the whole
now?
round. Yeah,
Now?
please. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'm spending a RAM.
Okay, perfect.
You
so
got
now
it.
I'm going to get rid of this card. I'm going to take this. I'm going to put this one on.
I'm gonna hold
And
this
so
so
now
I
here I am.
remember.
All right. Combat.
Okay.
3 damage to them. Nice. Okay, we got 1, 2, and 3. I take
So
2
5
hits
goes
though.
down to
so
2. You do.
1, 2. Okay, and that's before I do anything. So then I'm going to play. Okay, I'm going to play this one right here. So I'm going to hit them
Okay.
for 1.
Okay.
So then they're down to just 1. Oh man,
Yes.
I do not want to take a damage. That's it. Okay, good. Good.
Okay, so I have to roll. So can you grab your dice?
Oh yes.
I'm in combat with them.
Okay.
I
so
can
you
keep
take-
rolling, so
yep.
I take 1 health.
I got you.
But
There
they're
you go.
down to 1
That's it.
and
Oh, no, no.
nothing. That's
Play a
fine
card, just draw 'em.
because I'm going to play this.
Got 'em.
So I basically wipe them out.
Wipe 'em out.
They're now out
can
and I
move
can
too.
move
Yep.
twice.
Yep.
So 1, 2.
Okay, very good.
And I'm not in range anymore. So
Draw,
that is
draw.
it.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna heal myself for 1,
Okay?
2, 3 actually, and then I can move. So, before I do that, I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to do this. Okay, I hit them for 3. They hit me for 1 technically, and then I did all that healing. So they're
Okay.
done. They're out.
They're out?
Yeah, and then
Draw a
I'm just gonna
card?
draw a card. Go ahead.
All right, so it's back to me. I'm not in combat, so I'm going to play this. This is my distract.
Okay.
So I'm going to distract this enemy. They're
Okay,
adjacent.
here, I can hurt him. Just
So
hurry,
they
hurry,
move
hurry.
up. Ah,
Hurry, just draw a card.
Okay, I draw a card.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Okay, I'm gonna play this card right here. So I'm gonna open this door, and then I'm gonna cause 1 damage to them.
Nice. So now we can relax.
very
This is
good.
5.
That's 5 down to 4.
Goes down to 4.
Yeah.
All right.
And again, the symbol I use is my special card here. At that target, I can basically hit any one enemy that's on the board.
Yes.
So I really wanted to get this in play because during the cooldown, I lose it.
That's true.
It goes to my discards. I was
Yeah.
like, please draw so I can take my action.
And similarly, I played my card that has my special distract
so you brought 'em closer.
symbol. So I just brought them into an adjacent room on the opposite side of the door and opening any doors they went through.
Okay, cool.
So that was pretty solid.
Yeah.
I defeated one.
So did I. So we should have 2 more cubes
Yes,
here.
2 more cubes. And we're just going to use these. You're not.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. You're not. It doesn't say to do it, but we just do it to be
Efficient.
efficient.
There you go. 1,
All
2.
right.
So we got 2 more to go.
And that is the end of our second fight. Sorry if we were kind of in a real game, you wouldn't have to describe every single one of your turns because you know,
There is an element of that,
There
though.
is an
You're kind
element.
of saying, like, hey, I'm going to be playing this. I'm going to attack them. I'm going to go, okay, move. So
the real-time component timer is just to establish pressure. But it's,
pressure, yeah.
You really can just like finish out your turns.
You feel it, too, yeah.
All right, so let's breathe
Cool
out.
down, yep.
Discard your hand.
They're all out.
And let's resolve our loot.
Okay,
So
sure.
I've collected
I have no
one.
loot. Yeah, but what'd you get?
I have 1 loot, and it is a yellow shard.
Oh, nice.
So
oh, very good.
Yellow, orange.
Yeah, orange.
This one. So now I'm a little bit more
You
skilled
were pretty skilled, yeah.
in that, which is nice because being able to open doors and, you know, I haven't had to use this yet.
Well, and
to
then
open
also just getting these
doors.
these crafted cards in play, yeah.
That's true. Crafting these are very, very useful.
Yeah.
So, speaking of craftable items, let's get our new slew for the third fight, which could potentially be our last one.
Could be.
Right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
Naveen, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to ditch this one because, frankly, I don't really need too much of that, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm just going to ditch it, and then I'm going to take this triple target.
The triple target?
Yeah, because you're very strong, so I might as well get something at least so I can start battling.
You know, I'm gonna ditch this one.
Okay.
I don't necessarily
no.
know that, especially since we're approaching the end of this mission.
Yeah.
I don't know that I need to
That's fine.
to bump that up. I would like to move a lot though. This is kind of nice because it's a boost, but what do you
How do you feel about me taking this?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I just want to be able to do it. So, okay, let's just take this.
Should I do this one? Should I just be able to have a lot of
just
movement?
be able to move, yeah. That'd be
Okay.
great.
I'm gonna replace this.
Okay.
So the thing that's nice is they're all cheap.
They're very cheap,
They only
yeah.
require me to craft
And what's nice
one.
is now that you've set up 2 orange, you're most likely going to have 2 hands, so you can, pluck.
Yes,
Simple.
that is true. And so we both have our,
Yeah,
our
I
weapons.
think I'm
We're
good with what I have right here, yeah.
Okay. All right. So now our one enemy that is left on the board will not move
Mm-hmm.
because we are currently engaged in combat since we are in the same room.
You are
Because
technically in line of sight. Yeah.
Same room or same row or column that is unobstructed.
Yeah, so if you were here, you would not be in line of sight. But
Correct.
because you now are in the same room, even though there's a bend,
Yes,
you guys
we are
technically-
within range.
Yeah.
So now our single reinforcement will arrive. A was completed and so was B. So they are going to go to C. All the way over here. Naveen,
Yeah.
we need to run over there.
Yeah,
Right?
we do.
Okay.
It's very far.
Well, if you can somehow make your way over there and we
Yeah.
just defeat these 2, then we'd have completed the mission.
I think with all my green ram, I'm going to try to take this, the ice pick as much as I can to
Okay.
just move as fast as possible.
Now, again, you have to spend 2 RAM
I do have to
for
spend 2.
yourself.
Yep.
You can spend 1 RAM for me.
Yep.
And also, the mission doesn't just end as soon as we complete it. We need to get to the start space. And as an instant action, you must advance and remove your miniature from the board in order for you to be done.
Right.
Okay? Let's go ahead and draw our hands.
Yeah, let's do it. So 1, 2 is perfect. So I get to reload.
Ah, so nice to reload
Turn the cooldown.
before the timer
Yeah.
starts. All right, so who wants to go first? Can I go first, actually?
You absolutely can
Because
go first,
I'm
yeah.
in combat.
I'm basically kind of freely just kind of hanging out. So
Yeah, and it's kind of nice that we're not taking any wounds,
yeah.
right? So I'm going to...
don't forget to hold your dice in hand because you are going to be engaged.
Yes, good point. I'm going to go ahead and hold these 2. Now, I'm not sure if we mentioned it, but if you had multiple weapons, you can choose which one to use.
Yep.
But I'm going to use these 2, of course.
All right.
Ready?
Yes.
Yes, go.
3, 2, 1. Click the button. There we are.
3, 2... Ah.
Okay, go.
Go. Okay, so I must roll. They hit me for 2.
2, wow.
1, 2.
Can you heal
But
yourself
I
at
hit
all?
them for 1. So I keep on
1,
rolling.
2.
2.
Two.
That's it.
2 hits. Okay.
So they go down to 2.
You need to heal yourself.
I need to heal
or
myself.
You don't technically have to.
Oh, I don't have any. Okay.
It's fine. It's
I'm
fine.
going to play this.
Okay.
So that's...
How many hits?
I hit them for 3.
Oh, nice. They're
so
dead.
they're already... So they're out.
They're
and then
out.
I'm just going to move forward
Yep.
1.
All right.
And your turn.
Done. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to play this card. I have up to the 3, so I can heal for 1. Technically, I'm going to spend this before I do that, actually. So I'm gonna spend this as a boot. So I'm going to spend boot, which would shift this down, shifting it back up because I've overhealed.
Okay.
And then now I have 1, 2, 3 moves. Okay, back to you.
Okay. I'm going to play this. So I now can do to the top 2. I'm going to craft that and use it so that I can gain some health. And then I'm going to move twice. So I'll move 1, 2.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right, so I'm just going to get some RAM. So would you like to spend your RAM? Would you like to go? You want me to move you?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to move you for 1.
For 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to play this. That lets me gain 2 RAM. Didn't have very good options, but I guess I could... No, that's it, I guess.
Okay,
Back to you.
Okay, so I'm just going to... man, I don't have much. Okay, so I'm just going to move.
Okay.
Okay.
Done?
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to play this, my very, very powerful card.
Okay.
I'm moving into here, picking up the loot, and now I can attack them. So I have 1, 2, 3.
3.
So this goes down to 2, but I can also roll my weapon. So what do we got? Nothing.
Okay, just draw. Just draw.
Okay, drawing. Good.
Okay, I am hitting them for 1 for you. And then you have your boost. Don't
I have
forget.
my boost. Go. Finish your action so I
go,
can take my
go,
turn.
go.
Okay. Oh, I
You're
have
in combat.
I have to go in combat. Okay. So I go down by 2, and then I'm going to play this.
Boom,
and that gets them out.
Boom.
And I have to walk.
Yeah, walk.
So 1, 2.
Okay,
All right,
draw.
your turn.
Okay, I'm going to move. So I'm moving back. Okay.
I realized
Very nice.
I made 2 discard piles. That's so funny.
That's okay. So now I can exit.
You can.
I can.
It's so funny because we just need to get over there and advance.
I think it's still technically my turn, right? The timer went out, and it's an anytime action. I can advance, so I'm advancing. I'm out.
All right, you are out.
I'm out of the game. That's it.
And honestly, normally I would also have to go here and take my instant action to advance. Since I wasn't able to do that, I would have to do it in the next fight. But it's not entirely necessary because during the cooldown, we would just gain more enemies.
You get an enemy here.
Yes.
They would just stay there, and then you would go 1, 2, 3 out.
There really is no threat. There's no reason to have to restart. So let's just say I was here and I advanced.
Sure, you advanced
Boom.
out.
Yay!
You got out.
We did it.
Yeah.
We completed the mission, I guess I should say. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Right.
And we are 1 step closer to Dex. I believe that is the ultimate goal.
Yes.
Oh, Dexter.
Now, Monique and I are very versed at this particular scenario.
Yes,
so that's
that
why
is
we
true.
were able to kind of know exactly what we needed to kind of get done in order to get the weapons that we wanted and find ourselves in positions to cause as much damage as possible on a given turn.
Exactly. That's how we were able to basically complete it in 3 fights.
Right, because while filming this, we only have really 1 go at it. So we wanted to make sure that we could showcase exactly like how the dice works and all that. So future scenarios will be much more difficult.
Yes, in fact, our demo did come with 3 prologue scenarios. The 3rd one adds additional mechanics that we did not get to showcase. For example, when you defeat an enemy, you can actually take their body as loot.
Yeah, kind of like in video games. Like if you ever play a first-person shooter, you can kind of walk over the dead body and get some stuff.
Yeah, you can also disassemble your weapon, and there's also trading. So that is going to be an element of the game that we did not get to showcase here. We also didn't use our boosts, but I think you and I were just focused on our cards.
I think I had moments to use it,
Yeah.
and just even with the experience, like I said, you just forget that this is something that you can kind of account for.
Right. And we also didn't get to showcase too many of the Legends cards, but just keep in mind that there are additional symbols that allow you to do more intricate types of actions. As an example, this arrow here allows you to move as far ahead to the closest door or wall. Some effects will allow you to gain more time.
Yeah, let's kind of show you what that kind of looks like in the app over here. So we're just going to pretend as if we're going to play another scenario. Okay. So then time would start, and then if you have get time, if you have that particular symbol on a card, you just press this button, and then the music kind of slows down, and it just adds more time to it. So It's an element of the game that this is how they've kind of incorporated it in it. So that's just something to be aware of. So
That is specific to the app. Now, again, you do not have to play with the app, but if you do and you see this in the final version of the game, you may notice that button might look a little bit different.
Yep.
But there you go. That is Cyberpunk 2077, the board game. Now, again, the final version of the game will be about 4 times the size of this. It'll have a replayable campaign that has about 13 missions and a standalone job mode in the afterlife.
Right. So if you have any questions about anything you saw here, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you all so much for watching the video. There is a link in the description to the Gamefound campaign if you are interested in it. Thank you again for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.